Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Almost Martha. Today we're going to be making something so summery and good and delicious, a Panzanella salad. That's a tomato bread salad with a tasty dressing, basil, a little bit of Parmesan. It is so good. And now's the time to do it when all the tomatoes are coming in. I've got tomatoes growing outside. I got beefsteak, I got Roma, I got cherry tomatoes. All of them are going in this salad. So hang with me and let's make a really delicious summertime treat, a Panzanella salad. Where do we start? We start with some beautiful tomatoes. Beautiful tomatoes! Oh, I love tomatoes and I love homegrown tomatoes so much. So I'm so excited to be making this. I've got some small little beefsteak tomatoes. I have some Romas and I have lots of little cherry tomatoes that are all coming in. So I'm gonna wash these really good, just put them in a colander and wash them. And then I'm gonna slice these in half. And I'm also gonna slice these into cubes because we're gonna, but not too small. So we'll work on that together. I also have bread. So I bought one large baguette and it's about, let's see, 8 ounces of bread. This is stale. I bought it a couple days ago. It doesn't take long for French bread, sourdough bread to go stale. So it's stale, which is good. And we're gonna cut it into about 1-inch cubes. So I'm gonna turn the oven on. This will require a little bit of oven because we're gonna pour some olive oil and salt on these babies, and then we're gonna toast them up in the oven. This is gonna be what in our salad is grabbing that dressing, and it's so good. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll get back and we'll prepare the bread cubes. I opted for a slightly larger bowl so we can toss all of this. So to our bowl of breadcrumbs, we're going to be adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're just gonna toss this to coat, toss, toss to coat. If you think you need a little bit more, you can just put a little bit more on there, but we want to make sure that it all gets a little olive oil on there because we're going to put these in the oven and we're going to toast them, but we don't want to brown them like croutons. So they just have to get a little drier, a little toastier, but not super hard. That's not what we want. We still want these to be able to absorb. So they have to be able to absorb the dressing. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. If I see any little dry patches, just add a little more. This bread was already stale, so it probably won't take a lot of time in the oven. But I'm going to put it in for about 10 minutes, but I'm going to check it because if it's starting to brown, I'm going to pull it out. Yeah. All right, so now we're just going to put this on a sheet pan. And we will put this in the oven to get just a slightly toasty and crunchy, but not brown, not brown. Okay. All right, now for our tomatoes. So I'll just cut the tips off. I'm going to slice these into bite-sized portions. Make sure you don't get the core in there. There's a big core. And the Romas, there won't be so much. So we'll just slice them about like that. That's a nice little bite. And we're going to drain these tomatoes because we don't want them to be super liquidy. So the first step is cutting it up. The second step will be draining it. They can drain while we work on our breadcrumbs and we make our dressing. Okay, remember not to get that core in there. Oh, homegrown tomatoes. Oh, we always had a big garden growing up. We raised all kinds of stuff in our backyard. We lived in a suburb, but you know, we I think we even grew okra one year. So we had all kinds of stuff, and we had lots and lots and lots of tomato plants. And I have to tell you, if you've never experienced it, there is nothing like, I'm a little hungry. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to pick a tomato. Oh man, the best, the best. Now in the South, we like just tomato sandwiches. Tomato, mayonnaise on white bread. That's good enough. Mark is more of a BLT man. So we have BLTs around here quite a bit. And it's been such a joy to be able to use tomatoes from our yard. You know, I tried for many years to grow tomatoes here, and it was pathetic. We didn't get enough sun at the house. It just never worked out. But last year, sort of late in the season, I went ahead and I bought a tomato plant, and lo and behold, thanks to global warming, it is now warm enough here to really grow tomatoes. So yay! Yay for that. Anyway, so now I planted my tomatoes early this year, and they are coming in like gangbusters out there, which is fine by me. Fine by me. Because, oh, it's sort of going back to my childhood with these tomatoes. Really, such a lovely, lovely memory. So I'm going to work on these, and then I'll show you the next step. And I'll probably do a little surgery on some of these so I don't waste a lot of the tomato. But there's a lot of tomato goodness that we're going to get out of this. So I'll check back in just a minute. Our next step is to take all of our beautiful tomatoes, and we're going to sprinkle them with 2 teaspoons of diamond crystal salt. So we're going to salt these tomatoes. We want these tomatoes to release a lot of their moisture because we're going to be using the tomato water in our vinaigrette. So very, very important. Uh-oh. I don't know what she sees out there, Miss Annie. All right. Now that we've salted our tomatoes, we're going to put them in a colander. And please make sure you've got a bowl underneath it, because that is what is going to be capturing that wonderful tomato water, which is really going to make our vinaigrette sing. So this needs to sit and drain for about 15 minutes. So your bread will be finished before the tomatoes are, but put a couple timers on. Okay, about 15 minutes. All right, I just went and picked some basil outside, and I used my little nifty little herb shears to cut them into little ribbons. So I have a little more. I have about 2/3 cup here. You could do about 1/2 cup if you want. We're also going to need a shallot. I got this recipe, or I saw this version on Serious Eats, who I love. I've made a few modifications, but I always trust their recipes on Serious Eats. I can't remember the first time I made it what recipe that I followed, but this one sounds pretty good. So we're going to mince our shallot, but I'm not going to use, this is a bit larger than a small, so I'm going to do about half of this shallot. And I'm just gonna chop it up finely because we're supposed to be minced, so I'm gonna try to get it as small as I can. We also need a clove of garlic. If you want to add more garlic, you can always add more garlic. Needs to be minced, so I'm just going to use my box grater and this fine portion to get that grated down. So I'm going to work on my shallot. My bread is still in the oven, the tomatoes are draining, so this is all stuff to do while you're waiting for all that to happen. Okay, I think I've done a pretty good job of getting this all nice and minced up, and I think that is plenty, so I didn't use the whole shallot, so there you go. And now I'm going to work a little on my garlic. I've learned to never ever use the box grater without my safety glove. Yeah, many a ripped finger. Yes, many a ripped finger. So this works really well, really well. Okay, now we have our shallot and we have our garlic, and we are almost ready to start our dressing. Just waiting on the beautiful tomato water. All right, so now we have this lovely bowl of tomato water, which I'm just going to go ahead and put right in my bowl. Very important tomato water. And we're going to take our minced shallot and our minced garlic, and we're going to put it right into that tomato water. We're going to add our basil. And now we're just going to whisk this all together. Lovely. Oh, tomato water smells so good. We also have about half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, which I need some help getting out of here. I thought this would be easier than half the teaspoon, but maybe not. And I also have 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I'm just going to pour that in there, put that in there. So 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Now we're going to whisk all of that in. It's good that we have this big bowl to make the dressing in. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. All right, I'm just going to clear the deck. I have half a cup of olive oil. And as we're whisking, we're going to slowly drizzle in the olive oil. I don't know. She's got something going on out there. I don't know. Oh, we have somebody helping with the yard out there. All right, a little bit at a time. When I get a good action going, you want this to really sort of work together, maybe even emulsify a little bit. I think it's going to be hard to get it to really emulsify because of so much water content in the tomato water. Okay. Fantastic. And now we're going to add some salt and pepper. This is just to taste. And we'll see. See what it tastes like. Wow, plenty of salt. all that salt that was on the tomatoes, a lot of it drained out, so it doesn't need any more salt. I think it could use a touch more pepper though. It's salty, but it's not too salty. Remember, all of that bread is going to be absorbing a lot of this, so it can handle a little salt. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely, lovely. I don't want to miss anything. Get out of there. All right, now I have to find the biggest bowl I can find so we can toss this baby. Need a big bowl. Here we go. My beautiful breadcrumbs. They didn't get brown, so that's wonderful. So, breadcrumbs. Tomatoes, 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 tomatoes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And our special dressing. Okay. Now, we're going to toss this. And this salad has to sit. It has to sit so the bread can absorb the dressing. So we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. There we go. And with my handy dandy box grater, I did grate some Parmesan cheese in sort of a big grate. So we'll sprinkle a little bit of that over the top when it's ready to eat. And we're going to let these breadcrumbs soak and absorb all of this goodness. Oh yeah, baby. There we go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh yeah. All right. So we're going to let this just soak. I'll come in and I'll stir it just a little bit here and there to make sure everything's not just, going into the bottom. But, okay, this is going to be so good. All right, I think we've reached it. I see all the liquid has been absorbed. I've stirred this a couple of times. So now it's time to try it. Now you can put this out in a big bowl if you're going to share it. You can garnish it with some more basil leaves, sort of right in the center. And we're also going to sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So if you want to plate it for individuals, you can do that too. We can make a small side plate, and you're going to make each plate beautiful. I mean, they could all dig in, but why not make every plate beautiful? So we'll take this, sprinkle just a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. You can add a small leaf of basil right on top. Makes a nice little lovely plate. And now I'm going to taste it for you. Oh man, I can't wait. Little piece of tomato, little piece of bread. Mm. 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 That is so good. It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, those tomatoes are great. And it ended up being perfectly salted. I'm so happy about that. So you got to make it. You got to make it. So please just go to almost-martha.com where you'll find this along with all the other recipes that I've done. Look at that. Look at that. How great is that? And you have the opportunity to join my free newsletter. I have a new newsletter called A Seat at the Table. We're building a nice little community where you'll get extra recipes that aren't on the website, plus some nice little stories that go with it. So I hope you join it. I hope you try it. And I hope to see you next time right here on Almost Martha. with Annie.